My parents provided me the best childhood that a kid could ever ask for. I had way older siblings that had to deal with me and entertain me whenever I needed it. And for today's video, we're gonna talk about my childhood. So the first thing to start with is that I had an imaginary friend, which is expected. My imaginary friend was called The Red. I'm not sure why I decided to call him The Red, but I really liked the name and I went through with it. He used to be the most entertaining thing that could exist in my life. I would do a bunch of adventures with it, do a lot of mischief with it too, and I would actually try to blame it for some sort of things that happened with me, like breaking a cup of glass. It's The Red. The Red stuck with me at a very young age of 5, like ever since I started thinking, till the age of 10. And at the age of 10, I actually watched a very cool show that was called The Foster Home for Imaginary Friends. And as soon as I watched that show, that my imaginary friend disappeared. I decided to set off my imaginary friend into the foster home. It was a sad departure, the day that I decided to leave my imaginary friend, The Red, at the foster home of imaginary friends. Not sure why did I decide that day was the perfect day where I left him, but it was miserable and sad, since I never visited my imaginary friend ever again. My hair caught on fire twice, yes. And the funniest thing is, it is with the same individual. But the first time, it was me just being a brat, not listening to my mom, and my brother just watching. And I just got so close to the stove that my hair caught on fire. And thankfully, I was next to the sink. And thankfully, my brother was so smart that he decided to put my whole head into the sink and open the water fully. The fire on my hair was extinguished, and my brother was labeled a hero. And he is absolutely a hero. I would have been fully caught on fire if he didn't quickly think. The second time was the funniest, actually, because I was staying up late with my brother, and we were playing some, games on our family computer. And he had an empty lighter with his hand, and he was like, "It's so empty, I cannot even light anything." And he would tell me, "Do you remember when your hair caught on fire? Imagine that happen." And as soon as he clicks the lighter, my hair goes in flames. Thankfully, that day we had adult supervision, because my sister, if she didn't realize, I would have truly been cooked. So, what did my sister do? She took the Teletubbies blanket that we have. Yes, we own a Teletubbies blanket. I'm not sure why, but it's one of our favorites, and all my siblings have memories with it, and so do I. She took the Teletubbies blanket and threw it on my head, and thankfully, my sister knew how to distinguish a person who's on fire, and she did so. But the weirdest thing is the thing that she said to me later. My hair was no longer on fire, and my sister looked me straight into the eyes and told me, "My fiancé told me that men burn their ear hair." And I was so confused, because I'm not sure. Yeah, she could have been trying to calm me down, but I was trying to find a way just to understand how did that relate to the situation I was on. My hair was caught on fire, not my ear. And yeah, by the way, I once got traumatized by burning ears because my sister was ironing her hair and she clipped the iron on her ear, and I was witnessing the whole situation. And I cannot move forward after this situation. Now, enough being burnt, or people being burnt in front of me, or me being burnt. Let us talk about a scar that I have on my head. I was once playing with my sister Jay. She's my best friend and absolute elite. And I was jumping from the vanity to the bed, only to accidentally smack my head into the vanity and gushing out blood. I have a Harry Potter scar now, and since I used to wear glasses, I used to be called Harry Potter, but now I no longer wear glasses. So I just have a scar on my forehead, which is, I proudly, have it. I actually really, really love scars, especially since they tell a story. And I think anyone who has a scar, like anywhere, they are very cool. Because every scar has a story. Mine was me smacking my head into the vanity while playing with my best friend, my sister Jay. By the way, my sister Jay and my brother Andrew are literally the closest people to me because they are close to me in age, and I actually spent a lot of time with them, either in school or at home. Bored, I would be bothering them. Love them a lot. And I'm praising my siblings because they actually watch my videos and fully support me, which they are amazing for. Just to be exact, my sister Ellie was the one who distinguished me, and my sister May was the one who burnt her ear. And my brother Andrew was the one who lit me on fire. Now, let me talk about my older siblings. I have siblings that are way, 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 way older than me, like my sister Miriam and my other sister Jessica. They are wonderful human beings, and they are fantastic. They took care of me from the very, very young age, and I still remember what they used to be. Like, when I couldn't sleep when I was younger, I would go to my sister Jessica, and she would tell me about a story, or she would tell me stories about a dog named Jojo, or a worm that turned into a butterfly, or the slippers. Apparently, it's a story from my uncle who told my siblings, and my siblings decided to tell me, which was very confusing. Apparently, the red slipper was in love with the blue slipper, but the blue slipper was in love with the yellow slipper, and the yellow slipper was in love with the red slipper. It was a confusing story. I'm not sure how did that end up being told to me, but my uncle is quite creative, to be honest. And Miriam was the one who took care of me when my mom was busy. Like, she would be taking care of me, feeding me, changing my diapers, I know, and she would be entertaining me. And if I'm not playing with my siblings, I would go to my sister Miriam just to annoy the hell out of her. I love her so much. I love all my siblings, like, a lot. And my older two brothers are the ones who caused the addiction of video games. Also, a weird thing that I used to do in my childhood is stick to corners. I'm not sure why I have always liked small spaces. A lot of people would tell me they are claustrophobic, and I would tell them I'm quite the opposite. I really like well-fitted spaces. If I can't fit in a space very neatly, I would go like, oh, that's so good. Till this day, I still love small spaces, and I really find them very cozy. Like, when I was younger, I would, like, sleep on the floor in the corner because I thought the corner was so, like the most comforting thing. And I would play the corners, and yeah, I was a corner kid. I'm not sure what does that mean, but I was a corner kid. I hope you can relate. And that is for today's video, everyone. Today's question is, tell me about your childhood memory. It's not a question, I'm just like, just saying, can you tell me about your childhood memory? And finally, that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys liked it. We hit the big threes, we got 333, and now we're more than 333. Thank you guys so much. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. It would mean a lot. Doodles!